Okay, our next exercise will still be single leg stance, but just a modification of that just to make it a little bit easier. Maybe, they're really having trouble balancing just on that one leg and they may just need some extra support. So I just put Miss Jones up against this box. That way, if she feels like she's getting ready to fall, she can just catch herself on the box or hold it if she just needs to for stability. So we're still doing the same thing. Holding it up for 20 seconds and back down. Just with a little extra support. Okay, our next exercise will be still working on that single leg stance and that balance. But now I'm going to give Miss Jones a weight. And what I'm going to have her do is to stand on that right leg. And I'm going to have her take the weight and take it around her body. What this is doing is just emphasizing that weight is on different sides. So she's having the weight shift really through that foot and helping her really stay on balance. So it's just really a progression of single leg stance, just kind of giving her a little challenge. Okay, I'm gonna have her do it. I will get her to go 5 times around one way and then 5 the other way. All right, our next exercise will be just simply just walking, but Miss Jones will be walking on the treadmill at really like a high pace. And what walking does, you can go ahead and start the treadmill. What walking does is that it's first of all normalizing her gait pattern. So it's really helping her get that weight bearing feel through her feet, all the way up through her knees. Also it's working on her endurance. Her being a soccer player, really want to try to build back up that endurance. She's been out for a little while. She's kind of falling out of shape. So just picking up that speed with walking will be a good exercise for her. Okay, so now we're going to do exercises in the moderate phase of the post-operative. So this is Miss Jones after she had ACL reconstruction, and we are now in the moderate phase. So we're now still working on strengthening those muscles, those quads, hamstrings, really trying to push her way towards the return to function phase and the minimum phase. Really going to start increasing her walking, running, things that she's done in her sport, jumping, everything that revolves around soccer. We're going to start pushing towards that, but she does definitely still want to work on that quad strength. So the first exercise that I'm going to do is a short arc quad, and pretty much you just it's called short arc because it's a short length of straightening out that knee during the extension. So I have Miss Jones here on the plinth with the bolster up under her knee, and all she's gonna do is simply just lift her knee up, straighten it out, and back down. Up and back down. So this exercise, like I said before, is just really strengthening her quads. And as she gets stronger in this phase, you can continue, if you want to, you can get manual resistance, or you can remove the bolster. And get her to sit up on the side of the plinth. And you can begin long arc quads with that same leg. Just at a longer length now, still doing the same thing, strengthening those quads, contracting that muscle. Okay. Good. Yeah. Okay, next exercise. We are in the maximum phase of the post-operative. So Miss Jones just had her ACL surgery, and now she's in therapy. So in this phase, you really want to just minimize the swelling, really emphasize on the protocol that's going on in this phase, really get back to strengthening those quads, getting her to contract that muscle, things like that in this phase. So, but one thing that you do also want to do is just have adequate blood flow. And one exercise that you can do with that is ankle pumps. And I feel like with any exercise, with any type of surgery, doing adequate ankle pumps really does help, just with the blood flow to all your muscles and things like that, to help strengthen them and get them back to where they were before you had the surgery. So just a simple ankle pump. All you're gonna do is just instruct your patient to pull their toes towards them. They can do both feet. They don't have to necessarily do the foot, the leg that was constructed on. They can do both feet, pull down. And they can do about 30 of these, just pulling them towards each other. Yeah. And you can also do passive range of motion as well. Give an extra little push right there. All right. Like I said, this just helps with adequate blood flow in this maximum protection phase. Okay, my next exercise in the maximum protection phase of the post-operative, we're going to do some single leg raises, and these can be assisted with to the patient doing these single leg raises, and you're going to do it 4 different ways. So we're going to do flexion, and then we're going to get her to turn on her stomach. She's going to do extension. She's going to do out to the side and adduction as well. So she's going to do it the 4 ways. And also, in order to, if it's too easy, you can always get manual resistance. You can also add weights, cuff weights, to just continue to strengthen that quad. But in this phase, the maximum protection phase, you really just kind of want to assist her. And as she gets better, you want to allow her to do it on her own. But just really watching her contract that quad, lift that leg up, and put it back down, and then relax. So I'm gonna let her do it. Yep, and you would do about 3 sets of 10 this way. All right, and you can stop. Now you can turn on your stomach. Yep, on your stomach. Yeah, you could stay on the side. Yep, here, just kind of giving her some assist. Don't want her really rolling over those hips. I'm just staying in midline. Good. All right. You can turn on your side now. All right. Doing the same thing. Good. And now turn on your left side. So turn on your right side. So lay on this side. You want to bring this knee over, this leg over. We're going to do this. Yep. And this is strengthening the adductors. Okay, so my next exercise in the moderate phase of the post-operative, I want to do some hamstring curls. So I have Miss Jones standing up on the side of the plinth, and all she's going to do, I'm going to just instruct her to stand on the side. She can use her hand as balance if she starts to wobble a little bit, but all I want her to do is just curl her heel up to her butt and come down and down. Now this just kind of also, it does work on your quads, your hamstrings, just working all those muscles, but in all reality, it's really giving a little initiative to running. So we really pick up our legs when we run, so really having to have that range of motion in her hamstrings to curl that leg up and bring it back down. Now, a modification for this, if this seems too hard and maybe they want to lay down a day, they just won't feel like standing up, or whatever the case may be, they can also get on the plinth and lay down. You lay prone for them, on your stomach, and they can do them just here, back and forth. They need assistance, you can give assistance. Walk back. Yep. And in order to progress this, they can stand up, they can increase their weight, so just add an ankle weight. Or if they're laying on a plinth and you want to progress this, you can, while they're doing it, you can give manual resistance. So go ahead and push. Go ahead, go. Go ahead. Go ahead. Still do the motion. So do the full motion. I'm just giving you resistance.
Okay.
Go. Just give some resistance right there. That resistance is making her contract those hamstrings. Just wanting to make them stronger. You can also add a TheraBand around her ankles, and while you're pulling, she can just go do the same range of motion back and forth. All right. So my next exercise in the post-op phase of moderate are some abduction, just extension exercises. So I have Miss Jones standing up on the side of the plinth, and I'm going to instruct her to do is we're going to go straight out to the side, and we're going to go straight to the back. You're going to be doing about 3 sets of 10 on going each way. Again, this is just strengthening those glute muscles. She does need those, being that she's an athlete. They do a lot of explosive jumps, do a lot of running. So we need the muscles in our legs are very important. Modification of this would be straight leg raises if she was laying on the plinth, no resistance at all. She's just laying on her side, either her stomach or on her back, to do a modification of this. And then if she wanted to progress in this, you can always give resistance. You can give a colored tubing band. You can give a ankle weight. Ankle weights are always good for this. And just allow her to increase as she gets better and gets stronger. Good. Okay, now we're going to do exercises that's in the minimum protection phase of the post-operative. So the exercise I got Miss Jones doing now is called cone taps. So all I have her simply doing, I put a cone right in front of her, and I just have her getting into a high knee right here. And the cone is kind of her area where she just wants to get. This is really just emphasizing that as a soccer player, she does a lot of kicking, so high knees are just, they do a lot of them. So just want to really get her back into that motion, getting that feel of it again, of what she does on the field. And to progress this, I would want to add more cones. So just kind of give her some more dynamic. That way she can take her foot, she can cross over if she needs to, touching different cones. Because in soccer, that's what they do with the ball. You know, it comes from different angles. She's kicking it to her teammates. She's kicking it to the goal. She's kicking it behind her. So just putting that cones in different places kind of really progresses that. Now, if we want to modify this, we could definitely sit down on the bench and do marching. Just simply bringing her knees up as high as she can to her chest. Okay, so now we're in the minimum protection phase of the post-op. So I have Miss Jones here with a TheraBand around her knees, and we're gonna just do some simple squats with this, just giving her some more resistance, still doing the same thing, strengthening those quads. You never want to stop doing that throughout each phase, so we're still doing that, just increasing the difficulty in which she does it, because she's getting ready to return to her sport in these next few months. So I have Miss Jones here, so all I want her to do is widen her base of support. I already put the TheraBand on, and she's going to simply just go down to her squat and come back up. Yeah. Really making sure with the TheraBand squats that you want to make sure that the patient is squeezing on the outside of those bands, not letting those knees come in together. So really putting emphasis on that. That's why it takes a lot of quad strength, and it also takes some knee stability as well.